Imagine waking up every day, 700 days to be exact, without drinking any alcohol, even when life gets tough. Well, guys, I don't need to imagine that because I've been living that. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Jamie Dottie Garza, and it's time to ignite your sobriety. This video is special because I officially quit drinking for 700 days, and this is what happened. I want to share my story with you guys as I celebrate, because now I'm at 705 days sober. As my pastor, Reverend Baker, says, you might see me in my glory, but you don't know my story. It's my duty as a leader to continue to make content like this, because my goal is to inspire those out there who like I was, in bondage of drinking for over 15 years, and inspire them to get sober. I'm just a vessel, y'all. And I'm so grateful that God has delivered me from alcohol. I look back in the past 700 days. I made the decision April 17th. That was my last drink on my birthday. And then I started a streak. It started April 18th, 2022. I remember just wanting to tackle this burden in my life. I just really wanted to intensify my focus, and I didn't want anything controlling me. They say too much of anything that you love can hurt you. I didn't want that much power to be in alcohol no more. I didn't want alcohol to consume my life. I didn't want alcohol to be the reason for me being creative. I didn't want alcohol to be the reason of what I thought. I didn't want to fall short in any aspect. I wanted to take full accountability of my life as a man, as a husband, as a servant of God, as a father, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a leader in my community, as all these different things. I wanted to take accountability and have the discipline to remain this way. So looking back, I'm like, wow, I made that decision. I just thought it was going to be 30 days. But I got so much momentum from me going vegetarian the year prior. I was like, if I could do this, I could do anything. I quit smoking cigarettes at the time, and I was like, well, if I could do that, I could do this. It was just a willingness to go further. And I really wanted to see what life could be without drinking. Would I be able to have the discipline amongst peers and friends and loved ones to say no? How hard could it be? And as someone who already battled with mental health, and someone who always felt like alcohol was my escape route to leave this world, quote unquote, I was tired of being sick and tired. I will say, on this journey, it takes a certain amount of not only discipline, but it takes some confidence in yourself. You have to really be unapologetic and being okay with it. At a point in time, it comes down to a point where who cares what others think? In my head, I was thinking like, oh, are people gonna judge me because I don't drink? Am I gonna be the weird guy? The truth of the matter is, no one really cares. It's all in my head. And I realize that now as I continue to embark on this. I was at a ribbon cutting about 2 weeks ago on March 13th. And we're at the Chamber of Commerce celebrating their ribbon cutting. We went to a local restaurant in town. And of course, they got whiskey there, a whole bunch of drinks. And a lot of the board of directors and profound leaders in our community are there. And I'm chilling with them. They're good friends. And they're all getting drinks. And I'm the only one who asked for ginger ale. Believe it or not, no one asked like, oh, why did you quit drinking? Or you don't drink? Or no one cared. We got through everything. I'm still myself. I'm the best version of myself because since not drinking, I'm able to be more empathetic. I'm able to care a lot more. I'm able to be more present. I'm able to still be witty. I'm still fun. I'm very charismatic already. Alcohol doesn't need to lead me. And I'm just intensifying all of our relationships. And plus, your boy saved some money. At ginger ale, they didn't even charge me for the ginger ale. they gave me that for free. I ordered some hot fries there too. Some banging fries too they got, by the way. And they didn't even charge me for the ginger ale. Now, if I would have got a drink, I would have been paying like, what, $12, $15, depending on the drink of choice. But I was Gucci and no one cares. So why am I saying that is because you have to be so bold in this choice. Okay, I know that was a big thing for me. I was thinking like, oh, what would people think? But that diminished quickly, and I'm so happy it did. In fact, I've been able to inspire some of my friends. I've been able to inspire some colleagues of mine that I see out of just going sober and being able to be a voice about being sober and creating content like this. If imagine this, if I wouldn't have went sober, I wouldn't have created this YouTube channel and been able to help the many I've done already and the many that's more to come. I enjoy creating this content because it's something I'm passionate about and something I truly advocate for. When I reflect back over the 700 days, there hasn't really been an obstacle, I would say, of me wanting to drink again. We would go out to restaurants, we would have celebrations. I know the initial first few months, I'm not gonna lie, going to cookouts, especially, I'm half Mexican, that's what we do, we drink. My people drink, man. It's been known. I've been knowing this since I was a little pup. My last name Garza. We drinkers. I saw nothing else of it. Initially, it was a big shock for some of my family, but no one peer pressured me whatsoever to take a drink. And to a point now, it just became the norm. The same happened when I went vegetarian. Like, it's okay. Like, no one cares really, right? But they respected it. And as I go through now, like, I would joke with my family. We would go out to dinner, right? And I'd be like, oh man, I'm about to relapse, yo. I'm about to get a margarita on the rocks. I'm about to ruin the streak. My kids, they'd be like, no, don't do it. But they know I'm joking. They know I don't have no willingness to do it. Even when we went on vacation on a cruise, I had no desire for any drink. In fact, I didn't even get quote unquote mocktails. I respect mocktails, I understand it, but just give me a ginger ale. It's something I want to speak about that. I know there's non-alcoholic versions of beverages out there, but I'll just share this now. I'm probably going to make a whole video of it. But I really feel like when you're really comfortable and bold in yourself and you have this confidence and you're really seeking sobriety, not as a flex or not to brag or just because it makes you a better you, I feel like going to non-alcoholic beverages is kind of like which one you work and which side you on. Like, who's to say, like, if you go to the non-alcoholic versions of anything, you won't become addicted to those. And then you kind of end up back in the cycle. So I know I've seen them. I haven't personally tried a non-alcoholic beverage. The closest thing I've had was a mocktail. And I had my first mocktail October 13th of last year on a leadership trip. And it was honestly too sweet for me. It was delicious, but it was way too sweet. I would have been good off just a ginger ale on the rocks. Keep it plain Jane and be good with that. In fact, I heard like 50 Cent, during a certain time, he would fill his bottles up at bottle service with ginger ale to keep the mood going and the vibe going, which I understand too. So I never had a time where I needed to crave the drink during this time. That's how I know I'm saved from it. And that's how I know it's all within here. And just being able to cope with my emotions more. And because my coping mechanism was going to alcohol. My wife calls it out now. And I'm understanding of that. So now I have to be a big boy. I have to put my big boy panties on. And like, I have to deal with situations. I'm just so grateful now because it's been a full transformation. Like, when I look at where I'm at right now, it's night and day. Now I'm doing more speaking engagements. My business is doing better than ever. I'm communicating at levels I never thought. I'm doing more public speaking, right? I've just been appointed to lead a men's ministry in my church. I'm able to make more content like this. I was able to do a podcast for the full year. I've become the best father I can be because I'm leading by example. I'm able to inspire others like this. I'm able to be a better husband, more empathetic, a better leader, a better individual, a better son, a better brother, a better grandson, all these things. And this is a transformation after not drinking and choosing and understanding my identity and who I really am. It's no longer that like, oh, I'm just being sober, no drinking, this and that. No, this is who I really am. This is how I was brought into this world without a lick of alcohol. This is my true self right now that God has created me and the gift that He's put in me to continue to unlock. When we're talking over 700 days, it's all these feelings, but it's so intense. For once in my life, I'm able to appreciate the day to day. As soon as I wake up, I'm able to just say, thank you, Lord. Thank you for the gifts that I'm about to unlock. Thank you for the experiences. I'm able to be more appreciative. I'm able to be more present. I'm able to be more in that moment. And I take it day by day. You know, one thing about this journey, I'm never one to scoff anyone for if they do want to drink. Do you, boo? That has nothing to do with me. You know, don't think that just because I'm around you can't drink. I'm not here to push any narrative from anybody. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm just being me. I'm just doing me. I don't need alcohol to have fun. I don't need alcohol for anything. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to feel that because I've been robbed of this feeling for over 15 years of my life. And honestly, I feel like if I wouldn't have quit alcohol, I would not be creating content like this, first of all, but I wouldn't really be aligned in my true purpose earlier than where I accepted it. I was really making foolish mistakes. It was a lot of lust involved too. A lot of my mind was being altered and I was sinning a lot. And I'm just happy that I could transform like this to be a better husband. I got married in 2021 and I'm happy that I was able to become a better version of who I promised my wife I intended to be. And now, you know, with my kids, my sons, I'm raising boys, I'm raising leaders, men. My mental health has increased drastically. You know, I'm not thinking suicidal thoughts. I'm not having thoughts of harming myself. I'm having thoughts of just wanting to live more. I'm having thoughts of the future and just being here for my kids. And I'm having thoughts of positivity and reshifting my mind. I'm able to write more. I'm able to read more. I'm able to get real focused on the things that matter. I've been able to cut my procrastination because most of the time when I drank, right, I would get these quick dopamine hits. I would talk about things aloud of what I'm about to do, the whole time I didn't do, but I would get praised for the things like, oh yeah, that's awesome idea. Yeah. You get the dopamine hit, so then you kind of forget you got to put the work in. People ask me all the time, like, how do you do it? How are you a father? How do you make YouTube content? How do you do this in your business? How do you do all these things? How do you serve on a board here? How do you do it? Well, shoot. Imagine if I was on alcohol, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like it's a challenge, but it don't feel like a challenge because I know I'm aligned to this is what I was supposed to do. This is how you live. My advice for anybody out there who may be sober curious, guess what? I was sober curious at one time. Guess what? I fell short numerous times in 2016 before my son was born and even after. I wanted to become sober many times and always made excuses. At the end of the day, it takes you being bold and standing your ground. And just realizing you're doing this. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it for yourself? That might be one aspect, but why? What's your why? My why, I have to see those kids each and every day. I want to change the narrative of what I saw growing up and what alcoholism can do. I want to be the one who changes the generation curse and just, you can be manly, you can be great, you can be all these things without alcohol. I'm not better than nobody. And just because you're sober, you're not better than nobody. This is all for self though. This is all for you. And unlocking exactly the most you can get out of yourself. If we could put some extra years on it, why not? The hardest step is making a commitment, saying you're going to do it. The second hardest step is continuing to do that. And that's where the challenge is. But if I can do it, you can do it. I know you guys probably hear that often, but I mean that. I never would have thought that I would be this much sober my whole life. Like over 700 days. Like I never thought this was, I would laugh at this if I was in my 20s. I would be like, that sounds like a lame life. This has been the most fulfilling, I should say. And I can't wait to celebrate the next 700.